You think the FBI sees everything? Think again. There's one case that still keeps them up at night. It was a rainy Tuesday in 1972, the kind of night where secrets are buried deep. The target wasn't just any bank, it was the United California Bank in Laguna Niguel. Rumor had it, this vault held more than just savings. It held $30 million in dirty mob money. To crack it, you didn't need a sledgehammer. You needed a ghost crew, professionals who didn't exist. They spent months planning, studying shift changes, alarm schematics, and the guards' coffee breaks. March 24th, the night of the heist. The air was thick with tension. One mistake, and it's over. They didn't go through the door, they went through the roof, bypassing the silent alarm completely. Once inside, they were phantoms, moving through the shadows, avoiding every sensor. The main vault door was a fortress, but they brought the only thing that could defeat it: patience. It took 3 hours just to breach the outer layer, 3 hours of holding their breath. And then, click, the tumblers aligned. The beast groaned open. What they saw inside would change their lives. Stacks of cash, bonds, jewelry, and secrets. They took everything, but in the excitement, one of them got hungry, a fatal mistake. They vanished before sunrise, the perfect crime, or so they thought. The next morning, the FBI arrived. It was the biggest bank burglary in U.S. history. The chase was on, but the FBI had nothing except for that one half-eaten donut. But what they found next defied all logic. While the vault was empty, the evidence room was about to get its strangest entry, one half-eaten cherry-frosted donut. In 1972, DNA wasn't a thing, but fingerprints were. The Bureau worked around the clock to find a match. The name that kept coming up, Emil Dincio, a man known for being the cleanest thief in the business. Dincio didn't work with amateurs. His crew was elite. They didn't leave crumbs, literally, or so we thought. Why would a professional leave his breakfast at the scene of the biggest bank heist in history? It didn't make sense. Meanwhile, we tracked a car seen near the bank, a rented brown sedan. The paper trail started to bleed. Then the phone rang, an anonymous tip from someone who knew too much, someone who was scared. They said the heist wasn't just about the money, there was something else in that vault, something political. Rumor had it President Nixon had a private stash in Laguna Niguel. Blackmail material, million-dollar secrets. We moved in, a full-scale raid on a safe house in Ohio. We expected a shootout. Instead, we found ghosts. The coffee was still warm, but the crew was gone. They were always one step ahead. The chase crossed state lines. It was the largest manhunt the Midwest had ever seen. The director was breathing down our necks. We needed a win, and we needed it before they reached the border. We got word they were heading for the airport, a private flight to a country with no extradition. But then a realization hit me. The donut, it wasn't a mistake. It was a message, a joke at our expense. They weren't just robbing the bank, they were recording us, and the real show was just beginning. We played the tape found in the vault. It wasn't just a robbery, it was a performance. They waved at the camera. They toasted with champagne. They knew we'd be watching, and they loved it. The plane touched down in Youngstown, Ohio, Dinzio's home turf, a place where cops looked the other way. We couldn't touch them without evidence, so we waited. We watched. We followed the money. Every crew has a weak link. Ours was Harry Barber. He liked the high life a little too much. Harry walked into a dealership and bought a brand new Cadillac, paid in cash, small bills, rookie mistake. That was our green light. We didn't wait for a warrant. We moved on Harry fast. We took him down outside a diner. He didn't even have time to finish his coffee. In the interrogation room, Harry folded like a cheap suit. He gave us everything, including Dinzio. We surrounded Dinzio's farmhouse at dawn. 50 agents, helicopters. No escape this time. For an hour, there was silence. We thought he was barricading himself in, loading up. Then the door opened. Emil Dincio walked out, hands raised, wearing a bathrobe, calm as ice. As we cuffed him, he looked at me and smiled. He didn't look like a man who just lost. He leaned in and whispered, "You checked the vault, but did you check safety deposit box 402? We went back to the bank. Box 402. My hands were shaking as I turned the key. Inside, there wasn't a single diamond, just envelopes and photographs. I pulled out the first photo. It was grainy, but I knew the face. Everyone did. It was the president, Richard Nixon, shaking hands with a man who ran the Vegas mob. Suddenly, it all made sense. The heist wasn't for money, it was for insurance. Dinzio stole the mob's blackmail on the president. I made the call to headquarters. 5 minutes later, the phone in my hand went dead. The line was cut. 2 men in black suits showed up within the hour. They didn't show badges. They just said 2 words: burn it. I watched $30 million worth of secrets turn to ash in a rusty oil drum. The evidence was gone. Dinzio's trial was a circus, but every time he tried to talk about the box, the judge cut him off. National security, they said. The jury never heard a word about Nixon. They just saw a bank robber. They gave him 30 years. The mob wanted him dead. The government wanted him silenced. He was safer inside. Dinzio went to Lewisburg, maximum security. The world forgot about the donut heist. 5 years later, I got a letter. No return address, just 1 sentence written in pencil. I burned the photos, but I kept the negatives. I went to see Dinzio. 5 years in solitary hadn't broken him. It only made him sharper. "You want the negatives?" he asked. "I want a transfer, minimum security, and a window." I took the deal to the director. He didn't sign anything, he just nodded. It was off the books. Dinzio drew a map on a napkin. It wasn't a bank, it was a cemetery in Youngstown. We drove all night. The rain was relentless. It felt like we were driving into a trap. The cemetery was old, forgotten, the perfect place to bury a secret that could bring down a government. We found the headstone, "Beloved Father." I felt sick as I put the shovel into the mud. 3 feet down, metal hit metal. We pulled out a rusty film canister. This was it, the smoking gun. My heart was pounding. I unscrewed the lid. I expected negatives. I expected the end of Nixon. It was empty, no film, no negatives, just another note. It read, "Trust is earned. Step 1 complete. Step 2 requires a pardon." He was playing us, and we had just dug up a grave for nothing. August 1974. Nixon was gone. Watergate took the headlines, but we knew the real story was still in the shadows. Ford took the oath, but the new administration had a problem: the negatives. Dinzio still had the sword over their heads. The director called me in. He handed me a pardon. No name, no public record. Just a signature from the new president. The exchange was set for midnight. Pier 42, a place where the FBI didn't exist. And secrets went to die. Dinzio walked out of the shadows. He wasn't in a jumpsuit. He was in a suit. He looked like a free man already. He handed me the silver box. "The keys to the kingdom," he whispered. "Use them wisely." I checked the negatives. They were real. Photos of ledger books, names, amounts, the mob's investment in the presidency. I took them back to the director. I thought we'd use them. Instead, he dropped them into the fire. "This never happened," he said. Then he handed me my own file. "Forced retirement," it said. "Effective immediately. Full pension," but I was out. They scrubbed the files. The donut heist was officially listed as evidence lost. Case closed. Or so they thought. They thought they got them all, but I've been an agent for 20 years. I know how to handle evidence. I kept one, and now it's time to tell the world the truth. Join us for the finale. It's been 50 years. I'm an old man now, and I'm tired of carrying this weight. I told you I kept one. One negative. It wasn't a ledger. It wasn't money. It was a face. The man who let them in. The man who disarmed the alarm. We thought it was the mob. We were wrong. It was the bank manager, but he wasn't working for the bank, and he wasn't working for the mob. He was CIA, the entire heist. Dinzio, the donut, the chase. It was all a show. A CIA black op. The CIA needed to recover the president's blackmail material before the FBI found it. They used Dinzio as a distraction. We were pawns, all of us, chasing a donut while they walked out the back door with the real secrets. And the donut, a CIA agent, left it there to keep us busy, to keep us looking at the floor instead of the ceiling. The truth won't change history. It won't free Dincio. It will only start a new war. Some secrets are better left buried. This story ends with me. Goodbye.
There are more cases waiting in the dark. If you crave stories like this, hit the like button and subscribe to Deep Case Stories.